So vitamin D is made when the UVB rays is absorbed by a cholesterol or steroid in our skin called 7-dehydrocholesterol. I'll put the name somewhere. So once this happens, 7-DHC breaks one of the chemical bonds of the UVB, and then it converts it to what we call cholecalciferol, which is vitamin D3. But it's not done yet. Once it's created, the liver and kidney converts it to its final form called calcitriol. Yep. Then DBP, which is vitamin D binding protein, transports it to the organs, and that's when all the amaze balls start happening. I saw in some studies in the past that the children were beginning to get rickets, and it was due to lack of vitamin D. The bones started becoming soft, and then their legs became bow-shaped. So due to that, they started fortifying cereals, juices with vitamin D. And the question is, am I getting enough from the sun? Do I need to get the fortified foods? Do I need to eat more food sources of vitamin D? And I'm going to share what my family does to get the vitamin D that is required. Most of the receptors for absorbing the sun and making vitamin D are in this part, so you have to make sure that this part is exposed to the sun. And for people like me, in the past, we didn't know. We would put sunscreen. So sunscreen, from my own opinion, not science-based, from what I've read about the chemicals in it that can cause cancer, and the fact that it blocks the sun, so you are not making any vitamin D from the sun, I've seen that it's unnecessary. We just use common sense. We go in the sun when we want to get the sun. It's advised that 20 to 30 minutes a day of sun, you should be able to get the required daily amount of sun that you need for D3. The question or the issue comes in if one person is having certain issues that will stop the absorption or making of vitamin D3. We need to figure out if our bodies are able to go through that process. Some of the issues are old age. Sometimes at a certain age, the skin become ineffective in absorbing vitamin D, which means that the person will have to spend a longer time in the sun, or they will have to add some supplements. Another thing also could be that you are dark skinned like me. If you are dark skinned like me, it takes a longer time for you to absorb the sun. So if you are busy in the office, you have a lot of work that makes you not to be able to be in the sun. That means that you are missing out, and you probably are deficient in vitamin D like I was. Yes, when I went to do my test, I was in the negative. That was dangerous, and it explained why I was going crazy postpartum, because vitamin D, yes, I always recommend for my mamas during postpartum that make sure that you are getting that sun. Vitamin D is a pro-hormone, and it does have an effect on your hormonal balance. So yeah, pay attention to that. So if you are having any of these issues that prevents you from processing or making vitamin D3, then you will have to supplement. Of course, consult with your health professional about what you need to do. With us, I think we are still okay. We are able to get what we need from the sun. The other thing people would want to know is, what about the fortified food? So anything that has got to do with fortified minerals or vitamins in food, my family, we try to avoid it, and I'll talk about that in another video. Another question will also be that, what about the food sources that have vitamin D? So eggs and other food sources we know are rich in vitamin D. Because of the current disease going on that is so mucus, the symptoms are mucus forming, we are wanting to put our bodies in an optimum position so that we are able to detox whenever we are hit. So I have just put us on the sun, and if necessary, supplementation is what we are depending on. For the time being, we are just using the sun. You have to pay attention to not blocking the sun, even though you are in the sun, by what you're wearing. Like my glasses, it means my eyes are not getting any UVB. There's a difference between UVA, UVB, and UVC. I guess that will be another video. So there was a research where people in an office building, they had to check those close to the window with the window covered, and the people inside the building, not next to the window, not exposed to sun. The people who were close to the window had skin cancer twice. The incident of skin cancer in the people next to the window was as twice as much as the ones inside the building. And the reason that what other doctors had said was that it could be that they are blocking the window, but UVB, which is not able to penetrate things like glass and clothing, were not getting to them, so they were not making vitamin D3. But the harmful UVA was able to get to them, and so we have to be careful of that. So glasses, like when you are in your car, you are not making any vitamin D3. Even though the sun is hitting you, you are getting the harmful rays, because UVB does not make it through glass. When I went to the eye doctor, she told me, your eye looks like you are you are too exposed to the sun, and you need to wear sunglasses. And I laughed in my head, but I didn't say anything, because I know the problem actually is the solution actually is that I should remove my glasses when I'm in the sun, so that I am getting UVB as well to help my eyes. Not to wear sunglasses, which might just block the UVB that I need and might allow the UVA into my eyes. I guess there are some sunglasses that are really, really good full spectrum that might block all the sun rays. I don't want to block all the sun rays. I want my UVB. So let me end here. We'll talk more about vitamin D in another video. Bye bye.